Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing well. Hey, want to throw together a short video. It's going to make a post and type a bunch out, but there's just a lot to go over. It's about our blue collar street class. We got a ton of interest in this class. Everything's really good. I've been getting a lot of questions about stuff, and I thought I'd come make a short video and try to answer some questions. I just want to start at the high level goal for this class is to create a class that's, a little more down to earth, maybe say, than our real street class. I love those guys, but it's just extremely fast. The guys that follow us know that those cars are really fast, and the teams that are in there put a lot of their talents and treasures into those, and a lot of time, and that's not for everybody. So we're creating this class to kind of create more of a budget-friendly class that can really create some good competition, friendly competition. So that's kind of the idea of the class. I mean, and it's not I've been asked about points. It's not a points program. This is not about points. Sometimes points can get kind of intense, and I don't want to get into all that. And even for that matter, sponsors. I don't have a lot of sponsors for the class this year. It's just more. You pay $100 to enter. It's kind of a gambler style pot in 2 of the 3 races. Now, the one race we have in July that's part of our Drag and Drive event, I have had a couple sponsors step forward. JB Fields, FF Cage Works in Peoria, and Brent Herring of Herring Performance have both stepped up and said they want to put a little money in that race. So that race is sponsored. But overall, we're trying to keep it low keyed, so it's a lot of fun. And but anyway, I've been getting some questions, and I want to kind of take a minute, make this video to address them. First one I get's about big blocks. As the rules state, big blocks at this point are naturally aspirated only. No forced induction, no nitrous. I've had a few guys ask me about, how about just let us run a plate. At this point, I want to just keep it in let's see where the class goes. If you guys are really getting outgunned, and we've had a few races, and there's been some nice big blocks show up, and you're really outgunned, we'll talk about it. I do want to keep it even for everybody and give options for people to run different types of power plants. So, but right now, big blocks are NA only. I'm going to hold on that. I've had a few questions about twin turbos. Twin turbos, actually I made a call the other day to Precision Turbo, and I asked him about that. I said, my first gut was they're going to get so small, if you're going to allow twins, it's not practical. And the guy said, here's the deal. He says, if you allow a set of 55 millimeters, I'm talking about cold side or compressor, a set of 55 millimeter twins, that's going to outperform your 76 millimeter single. So, and a 55 is a pretty small turbo and not real common occurring out there. Most guys are running 60s or even bigger. So I'm going to stay away from the twins right now. I'm going to hold my ground and say no twin turbos in the class in Blue Collar Street. Again, I reiterate, sometimes there's confusion. This video is strictly pertaining to Blue Collar Street. If you're a 28-inch tire or you're a real street or index, it doesn't have anything to do with you. This is Blue Collar Street only. Single turbos. I assume this will be a pretty popular class. I've gotten probably 4 or 5 different people reach out to me and say, Joe, why not allow a 78 over 75? 78 cold side, 75 hot. That is a very common turbo that's out there right now. It's a Chinese turbo you can get off eBay or wherever you get it. And guys are telling me there's a lot of people that have this turbocharger. So trying to make this class work, and most of all is get as many people as we can to come join us. So I did, again, I talked to the guys at Precision Turbo, talked to a guy by the name of Bradley in the technical department, and Brad said, actually the 78 over 75, this Chinese turbo they talk about, he says, it doesn't perform any better than our 76 over 75. And the primary reason is this. The turbine side, or the hot side, being 75, he says that's going to dictate what power you make for the most part. He said, so really the turbos are almost identical in the power somebody can create with those 2 particular turbos. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and permit a 78 cold side and a 75 hot. I'm going to go ahead and give us as guys have asked, and if you've asked, you're welcome to join us, and I hope that you will, in effort to get a few more cars. Again, Precision saying there's no performance advantage of that, so let's go ahead and make that rule change. That's the primary part of this video I wanted to share and answer some questions. So I will be doing some inspections. We're going to try to keep it low-key again as I started. This class is intended to be fun. There's no points. There's not a lot of money involved, so we will do inspections. You know, we'll take a look at probably when you first see you for the year. We'll take a look at your setup. We'll probably have a go, no go. Put it in your inlet of your turbo. Make sure that, you know, make sure it's no bigger than a 78. If, you know, we get to where we got a car or a driver, he's really fast. You know, he's raising eyebrows. He's running 150 mile an hour in the eighth. He's flying. We reserve the right to ask you to pull your hot side off. We don't plan to do that, but we may have to ask you if, you know, you're really running out in front of everybody else. We may say, hey man, pull the exhaust side off. Let's take a look at that turbine. We don't expect that to happen, but just saying it now so you're not surprised if we do ask you to do it. We do reserve that right. Hope to not have to do that. Let's just try to have fun. Everybody be honest. The rules are max size on turbo is 78 cold side, 75 turbine or hot, and let's try to comply to that. The last question I get a bit is meth injection. At this point, I'm not going to allow meth injection as an intercooler. I require an intercooler. I still got a few more people to talk to you about it. I mean, I understand meth injection, what it does. It cools your charge air with an injection of meth into the intake pipe, you know. And that's okay if that's all that happened. But what can happen in some cases is that people that spray a lot of meth, now they're doing cooling and they're using meth as fuel. They're raising their octane and they're doing all the wonderful things that methanol does. So that's why I'm kind of holding back on giving the green light on meth injection right now. I'm still where I was, is, you know, you got to have an intercooler and no meth injection allowed at this point. But I'm still open to it. Some guys have reached out to me, all very respectfully, and made good cases of what they have and why, and they have good real street cars and down-to-earth street cars that fit. So I am trying to listen to those guys. I'm trying to listen to everybody. So I guess that's about it. I do plan to get an updated flyer out in a couple of days to kind of with these updated rule sets. Again, we'll go with a 78 over a 75, and I do want to draw your attention to the drag and drive, something when I say flyers, I actually got a couple different flyers for Blue Collar Street. There's 3 events. There's one in June, one in July, and one in September. The June and the September events are going to be very similar rules. It's the same flyer. However, the July rule set with the drag and drive is a bit different, and I ask you pay close attention to it. One rule that's different for the July event is the all glass, all steel rule has been scratched and been replaced by the car must weigh a minimum of 3,000 pounds without a driver. The reason for this is I really want to make a really, really good competitive, fierce competition, close grouped cars at this event. Be a lot of people there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that should make a super competitive event. So that one's a little different. So pay attention to the flyers. They're a bit different. That July is a bit unique. Sean Young's told me we're going to get some scales at Havana. We're going to be scaling cars. Again, this video's Blue Collar Street only. So anyway, pay attention to that. I'll try to get those flyers out in the next few days. Anyway, I hope this video helps answers questions that people have been asking me. If you still have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Again, everybody's always really respectful, and I don't mind when you'll be patient with me to get back to you, but I'm more than glad to answer your questions if you have them. So anyway, that's all I got. Again, I hope everybody's doing well, and we'll see you for sure in June. We'll talk to you later.